There was more fallout Tuesday over President Trump's reported use of vulgar language in a meeting about immigration. It put his Homeland Security Secretary in a difficult position when she testified under oath to the Senate Judiciary Committee.
Apologies, I don't remember a specific word. What I was struck with, frankly, as I'm sure you were as well, was just the general profanity that was used in the room by almost everyone.
Did you hear me use profanity?
No, sir. Neither did I.
Did you hear Senator Graham use profanity?
I did hear tough language from Senator Graham, yes, sir.
What did he say?
He used tough language. He was impassioned. I think he was feeling very strongly about the issue, as was everyone in the room. And to underscore a point, I think he was using some strong language.
Also Tuesday, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin and Republican Senator Lindsey Graham both said the president was steered away from their bipartisan immigration plan by hardliners on his own staff. Reuters White House correspondent Ayesha Rascoe joins me now from Washington. So, Ayesha, do we know who those hardliners might be?
Well, there's speculation that the Chief of Staff, John Kelly, and Stephen Miller may have played a role in the president, in encouraging the president to reject the bipartisan deal. At the White House briefing today, Sarah Sanders did say, or tried to make the case, that the president is the one who is in charge of policy and that he wasn't being persuaded by others, but that it was that the deal was lacking, and that's why he didn't give in to, or that's why he didn't agree to it.
Well, President Trump tweeted early Tuesday that, quote, Democrats want to shut down the government over amnesty for all and border security. Does that mean the White House doesn't want a DACA deal?
Well, they say they want a deal, but they say they have a certain criteria that they want to be met. Today, Sarah Sanders, once again, she said that part of their biggest problem with the deal, as it was put forth, is that it didn't have enough money for the border wall that President Trump has trumpeted again and again that he wants to be built. And so, well, not just the border wall, but for border security. So they said that needs to be dealt with. They also say what they call chain migration. That issue has to be dealt with. And of course, they're talking about, merit-based immigration. So they're saying that they have all these criteria that need to be met, and they do want a deal and that they're going to work towards it. Of course, there is some speculation that maybe the White House is trying to run out the clock, and so and not actually working in good faith to reach a deal.
So what about that? Is the White House concerned about a potential government shutdown if lawmakers don't come to a consensus on immigration by the end of the week?
Well, I think it's something that they should be concerned about. I think right now the bet is that there will be, if there isn't some grand bargain by the end of the week, that there'll be another short-term deal to keep the government funding, to kind of kick the can down the road a little bit. Certainly, I'm sure the White House will try to place the blame on Democrats, and maybe that's what President Trump is trying to do with his tweets, is to frame it, if things do blow up, to say that the Democrats weren't trying to work with us, and that's why this government shutdown happened. But that's going to be very difficult to argue when you have Republicans in control of the House and the Senate and the White House, to say that it's the Democrats' fault that the government is shut down.
Meantime, also on Tuesday, Ayesha, President Trump's doctor announced he had a clean bill of health. You asked him what kind of patient Mr. Trump was at the briefing. What did he say?
Well, he said that President Trump is very independent. He likes to, figure out things on his own. And in the doctor's words, President Trump doesn't come to him for Band-Aids. He also said that sometimes he can be a little difficult, he can be a little stubborn, and that the doctor has to try to, I guess, enroll Melania and get her help in persuading him to do certain things.
Yeah, that's a tried and true technique. Doctors everywhere, I think, get the wife's help on it. All right, let me ask you about Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She was also asked about former White House strategist Steve Bannon and what he might tell the special counsel. Is the White House worried about what Steve Bannon may say?
Well, this is kind of critical because this is, a member of the president's inner circle, obviously, or who used to be a part of the president's inner circle. And so he knows a lot, regardless of what the White House has tried to distance himself and say he didn't really play a big role. That's obviously not the case. He was a chief strategist for the White House. So the White House is saying that they are encouraging Steve Bannon to participate in all these different investigations. But when it came to the House Intel Committee, it does seem like they're throwing up some roadblocks. They're saying that, you know, they needed to be consulted about confidential information. So I think that it goes without saying that there have to be some concerns as these investigations get deeper and deeper into White House staff and former staff who have really key knowledge of what happened.
All right. Ayesha Rascoe in Washington for us. Ayesha, thanks very much.
Thank you.